Okay, guys. So if you are looking for opportunities to move to Europe or abroad, please make sure you watch this video to the very end. There are so many things I want to say here, and somewhere along this video, I'm going to switch to a different language, Pidgin. Okay, so if at the end, maybe towards the section for the Pidgin, you don't understand Pidgin at all, please look for somebody that can translate to you. Okay, now remember that I have always said, and I will keep saying, that the best visa to use and move abroad is a student visa. The reason is simple. With a student visa, you would come in here, Europe or anywhere around the globe. Then, when you successfully enter the country, you are going to get what they call a residence permit. Okay, now when you get that residence permit, the next thing you are going to do is you will study, and after your study program, you will graduate. After your graduation, you will now transition from a student visa maybe to a work search visa. In Canada, it is called post-graduation work permit. In the Netherlands, it is called orientation year visa. By the way, before I proceed with this video, somebody that came to this country in January, those of you following me on FB or on my YouTube channel, maybe you saw the video. Those who didn't see it, please check the channel. It is there. You will know the person I'm talking about if you go and you check the video. That same person, he's been here for like close to 3 months now. IND just sent, what I mean by IND is the Dutch immigration just sent his visas for his children, 3 of them and the wife, making 4 people who are to join him here. The entire family is going to join him here very soon. Their visas have been approved. The details were put in his post box. In fact, I was on call with him and we talked for some time. Let me play a sniper to you guys because I always talk here with evidence so that nobody will come and say, oh, Milton didn't do this. Listen to this, guys. That when it total 4 now, okay, now 4 here, now 4 this in. Yeah, madam, yeah, 2 begin them are fantastic. So there are details I would not like to share here, but first let's focus on this. Remember, so this brother is saying he's told me to share this information and keep some details hidden, so I cannot release them. Remember, I think 2 to 3 weeks back, I did a video saying that before I used to think it's not possible that you can't move here with your family, but then someone told me, then this brother, we discussed, that was when he started this application. I even told some people on one-on-one calls who came to me for one-on-one. So if you need something, study abroad, anything, please book a call from the video description box. So I told some people that they can move here with family, but if you want to come at the same time with family, it's going to be expensive. Come first, then after 3 months, apply for your family to join you. Of course, because you still need some money, right? So that was it, and brother did, and now the family are coming. I hope you see this is good news, and I'm just here to encourage you. Do not give up, keep fighting, and of course, before you know, your life will be. There are so many things I won't still say. Now, let's get back to the video. If you want to study and you think that your money is not enough, okay, this is the type of visa you should use. Now, I want to tell you that before you apply for this particular visa, make sure you know what you want to do in here, and also be informed that the embassy will also want to know what you are coming to do here. For example, the visa I'm talking about is Schengen visa. With this visa, you do not need enough money like the proof of funds, the big amounts. No. You just need small money, okay? Because the Schengen visa now depends on what you are coming to Europe or to the Schengen zone to do. Remember, this particular visa is a short stay visa, okay? But if you are using the short stay visa, you want to apply for it. What are you going to show the embassy? That's point number 1. Why are you applying for the visa? Is it that you do not have money and you want to come in here and seek for aduro? Is that your issue? If yes, read more about aduro to understand. You get my point. Otherwise, note that if you do not prepare properly, it's going to be disastrous for you. I will always prefer the student visa. If you do not like aduro, for me, I don't want aduro because Aduro, its complications are somehow, but there are some people who can't actually afford the student visa, right? And these people, I will advise you to pick Aduro. If you are picking Aduro, when you come here, you go to Italy, go to the Netherlands, or go to Belgium. These are the three countries I will advise you to settle for the Aduro. When you get in, go to the police and look for the local places. Ask them to show you where you can. Tell them you want to seek Aduro. But before you leave your home country to seek Aduro here, always remember that you have to tell them why you left your country to seek Aduro here. That's why I always say that read more about Aduro before you come here. Then if there is anything you have to gather like evidence and anything, gather from home and bring them here. Moving further, if you want to apply for a visa to come here, the Schengen visa to come here and seek Aduro, there are documents. I always say that you should use your company's document or where you are working. Ask them. If you do not have what they call employment contract, ask the company. Okay, if you do not know what to do, ask them for leave letter. They have to give you a leave letter. They have to give you employment letter. They have to give you pay slips. That, of course, if you are being paid, they should be giving you pay slips, right? Now, what you need to do is you gather their employment letter, your pay slip, your leave letter, then you add your proof of funds, which is your bank statement. Remember, you shouldn't be earning maybe 30K, 40K, put in your account, and at the end of the day, you want to go and take a tourist visa and come here. It's a bit complicated because the embassy might think that, oh, you want to come here and remain, you are not going back home. And sometimes when you show them certain salaries, they might not believe you. So even if you do not have the documents and you want to go to somebody to collect these documents from the person, you should go to somebody that has a good company. Okay, there are people with great companies. And for you, if you still do not have travel history and you see a way to maybe go to a nearby country, get the stamps to prove, because when you go to the embassy, especially some embassies, they will ask you, have you ever traveled before? Do you have travel history? I know someone, the day I was going to Benin to collect my visa, in fact, at the embassy, in front of me, there was somebody from a particular African country who submitted in front of me. When he was about leaving, the visa officer, who is from my country, working in the Benin consulate, asked the person if he has travel experience. Has he ever traveled? He said yes, he's been to Poland. Okay, the person I'm talking about might watch this video, right? So he said, okay, let me see the visa. So that was when the guy presented the visa to the visa officer. So they might ask you if you've ever traveled before, and they will also want to know what you are going to do in there. Okay, and they want to see your documents. That's why it's very important. Okay, now remember, if you are going to a particular country, it depends on, because the Schengen visa is of various types. Those of you going for touristic purposes, those going for visits purposes, those going for business purposes, and those going on medical treatment, and those going for conferences, all of them fall under the Schengen visa for Europe. For Canada, it has its own name, visitors visa, but in Europe, it is a Schengen visa, because that particular visa, I mean, for countries, if you want to apply for Europe, like the Schengen zone, you should be looking at countries that are within the Schengen zone. You shouldn't be going to Russia for visit and you want to apply for Schengen visa. Russia is not in Schengen, right? So that is what you should know. You should put in the right documents, things like contract. I mentioned that, pay slips, leave letter from the company. Then you have something like allowance letter. If the company has allowance letter to give you, they should give you. If you are going to a place like Canada where you want to go and study, come back and continue to work with the company, fine and good, you take a leave letter from the company, right? But if you are going for just maybe any type of purpose and you are not going for school, if you want to go as a tourist, maybe to visit some touristic areas, because of course you have to draft an itinerary to show where and where you'll be visiting and on which day, you should get a work leave letter. That's what I mean, okay? Depending on your case, you either get a work leave letter or a student leave letter. So I'm just here to inform you about this. Then your bank statement, depending on the country, depending on the number of days, of course, you still need to show your bank statement. You still need to show the visa officer that you have money when you get to the country, and when you return back home, you will still have money, because they assume that when you come back, you have to rest before you start working. I hope this makes sense to you. Now, if you want to move to a particular country, all you need to do is to verify how much you need per day, and then how much you need per day for food. Of course, you know how much you need to be paying accommodation, and transportation is never a problem. You need to know your accommodation, your food. You calculate that money for the number of days, then you add your flight ticket, your insurance, your accommodation in it, okay, then also double the money by two, because when you go to that country and when you come back, you have to still have that same amount of money or something equivalent, or rest for some time before you begin your job. Now, remember, if you are going for touristic purposes, you need to get an itinerary. Maybe you apply for a tourist, maybe a tourist site or a company. Try to get a letter from a company to in that country you want to go. Tell them you would like to maybe tour with them to show you places. Then you attach the letter to your application, you submit it. Okay, now for those of you who do not like this option, okay, then you get in here. When you get into Europe, maybe you can apply. Now remember, if you are saying that you want to visit a touristic site in France, and later on you want to also visit a touristic site in Italy, and after that you have to go to Spain to visit a touristic site, get a document from the touristic site in France, for that in Italy, and for that in Spain. Then you add the documents to your visa application. Sometimes you might have to pay, but that is not problem. But just get those documents and add to your visa application. Now also understand that as you are moving, right, the country in which you want to enter first, that is the country you are going to apply for the visa. So before you apply, think about this very well. If your first country of entry should be France, your airport is in France, then you have to start from France. You have to apply from France. If you want to start your journey from Switzerland, then you have to apply in Switzerland. You understand, the Swiss embassy. So please put all these things into consideration. Think about it very well. But if you have money, I will always advise you to take the study pathway. That one is non-negotiable, okay? Because with the study pathway, after that, you are looking for options to work. But with aduro, with a visit visa, you can only ask for aduro, and at the end of the day, they will ask you for your case. If everything is fine, they will give you papers, right? But if everything is not correct, they will send you back home. I hope you understand. So put all these things into consideration, and then you think about it again. And do not forget, if you are telling the visa officer that you have a company, a registered company, you should be able to show your tax registration documents. They want to see that the country in which your company is, you are paying tax for that company. And also, maybe company registration documents, everything. You put them together and you submit. This is how it works, right? Now you have the right to make a decision. Are you going for school? Are you going for visit? Are you going for tourists? It depends now on you and which one you can lay your hands on. With the student visa, you don't really need all these complications. You just need your admissions letter, your bank statement, your educational credentials, and maybe for countries that need insurance from outside, maybe countries that need other things, you get them. For the Netherlands, they don't need them here, right? So I've explained this process now. It's now left for you to make a decision. Any other thing you need, book a call with me. Let's talk on call so I can guide you properly, because I can't sit down and start typing, guys. There is a lot I'm doing to save people. So let's meet again in another